Have you ever wondered why the beginning of life feels so difficult? Not because life hates us, but because life never promised to be easy. The day you opened your eyes for the first time, you did not smile. You cried. That cry was not just the sound of a newborn baby. It was the first lesson life ever taught you. Sometimes, the beginning hurts. Before you learn to speak, you learn to cry. Before you learned to walk, you learned to fall. Before you learned to trust, you learned what it felt like to be afraid. Nobody remembers those first struggles, but they were real. The truth is, every human being begins life with nothing. No money, no power, no reputation, no achievements, just a tiny heartbeat and a fragile body that depends on someone else's love. That is how every great story begins. When I think about the beginning of life, I do not see happiness first. I see sacrifice. I see a mother who stayed awake through painful nights. I see a father wondering if he will be enough. I see people fighting quietly so that one little child can have another tomorrow. Many of us grow up believing life is supposed to become easier as we get older. But life has a different plan. The struggles simply change their names. As a baby, you cry because you are hungry. As a child, you cry because nobody understands you. As a teenager, you cry because you are trying to discover who you are. As an adult, you cry where nobody can see. Life changes. Pain changes. But the heart still carries its silent battles. I remember looking at children playing outside and thinking they had no worries. Years later, I realized they were fighting battles I could not see. Some were hungry, some were lonely. Some were waiting for parents who never came home. Some smiled during the day and cried themselves to sleep at night. That is the strange thing about life. Not every smile tells the truth. Some of the happiest faces hide the deepest pain. The beginning of life teaches us something we often forget. Nobody chooses where they are born. Nobody chooses their family. Nobody chooses whether they begin life in wealth or in poverty. Some children are welcomed with celebration. Others arrive in silence. Some sleep in warm beds. Others sleep under leaking roofs. Yet every one of them carries dreams that nobody else can see. Sometimes people laugh at those who started with nothing, but they forget that every mighty tree once looked like a tiny seed buried in darkness. The seed is surrounded by dirt. It cannot see the sun. It feels trapped. Yet that darkness is preparing it for life. Maybe that is where you are today. Maybe you feel buried, forgotten, ignored. You wonder why everyone else seems to be moving forward while you remain in one place. But what if this painful beginning is not your ending? What if life is quietly preparing you for something greater than you can imagine? I have met people who wore expensive clothes but carried broken hearts. I have met people with empty pockets but hearts full of kindness. That is when I learned one of life's greatest secrets. Your beginning does not decide your value. Your circumstances do not define your future. The place where you started is only the first page of your story. The rest of the pages have not been written yet. Sometimes we become ashamed of where we came from. We hide our scars. We pretend our childhood was perfect. We smile when people ask if everything is fine. But deep inside, we remember every painful night, every empty stomach, every disappointment, every tear nobody saw. Those memories never completely disappear. They become part of who we are. But they do not have to become the prison that keeps us from living. The beginning of life can be heartbreaking, but it can also become the reason you understand other people's pain. The people who have suffered often become the people who love the deepest, because they know what it feels like to need someone. Maybe your life began with loss. Maybe it began with rejection. Maybe it began with pain that words cannot explain. If that is your story, I want you to remember this. You are not alone. Some of the strongest people in this world started with tears instead of applause. And sometimes, those who begin with the greatest sorrow grow into people who bring the greatest hope to others.